Hello, and welcome to Notes9. I'm David Leedy. Episode 68, XPages Media Library. Instructions for setting up and using the application. Okay, I am beyond excited about this because this is my first code contribution to OpenNTF.org. And what I've done is I've created this app called XPages Media Library, and it's on OpenNTF now. And this app powers the XPages.tv website. So if you want to see it or demo it, just go to XPages.tv, which might be how you're seeing this video anyway. And what this is, it's an application with a couple clear goals, and it's for audio and video materials for training and obviously podcasting and things like that. And I wanted it to be able to be used inside your corporation. So it's not all fleshed out yet, but you'll be able to group videos by department, by application, by podcast, etc. If you're working with multiple podcasts or multiple departments, like HR has their training videos and IT has their videos or audios, or this application has these videos, etc. It's going to play in most browsers, including most mobile devices. This is using the Projector project, Projektor, which is a very good video player, and it's basically looks for HTML5 first. It does have Flash fallback if needed, and it works on iOS devices, so the iPads and iPhones and all the real mobile devices at least. So what this demo is going to be is basically how to set up and use it. It's not how I built it. That's going to come soon, at some point. I'm not sure when, but that's going to come to Notes9. I'm going to do a series of videos or whatever. That's going to be the full app build for the most part. But the app is still, I've still got some things I want to do with it. I'm not fully finished feature wise, etc. So I'm not doing those videos just yet. Okay, so that being said, let's go to the demo. Okay, what I want to talk about today is the XPages Media Library that I've contributed to OpenNTF, and this is the application that is running the XPages.tv website currently. And what you can do is you can go to OpenNTF, and here's the page there, and you can download the latest release. And by the time you get this video, I'm sure I have an update with some minor bug fixes in already. And once you get it downloaded and signed and all that admin crap, and have it on your server, all you really need to do is come to Application Access Control, and what you want to do is create a role called Admin and give that to yourself or whoever's going to be managing it or so. And what that's going to do is that's going to enable configuration settings for that person or group that you've enabled that role for. If you look inside the database, there's a lot of stuff in here, but you don't need it. I try to do everything through XPages itself, so you don't need to actually go into the Notes client for any configuration. And that's how I'm going to kind of proceed going forward with it. Okay, so what is this app and how do you use it? Well, I mean, it's a basic, app control, app layout control, One UI 2.1 kind of thing. I've got some links up here that are configurable. The name is configurable. There's a feedback button for people anonymous people can leave comments on the site or whatever. There's a message. There's some stuff over here, and there's right now I've got this like little featured video thing. Welcome to Notes9, and a screencast series featuring Notes9. And there's not too much to it. Then we can sort it by tag. I don't have a tag cloud in yet. That will come, and contributors. This one I'm kind of getting pretty pleased with. You can click on a contributor and see what shows they've contributed to, and it even counts up their total time in minutes, seconds, minutes, and hours right now. This whole website needs a lot of pretty yet. Don't get me wrong, it's not quite done. And then here's just all the episodes, and it is important to note that you see how this is like Notes9 here. I labeled one show, or actually not one show, but I added one show from the XCast podcast to it. So I don't really have a great UI for multiple shows yet, but it is coming, and I had designed it for multiple shows. So, for example, if you have a department, you've got a company with videos or training materials from different departments or different applications, I want this application to be able to handle all that. And it's not just videos too. So, like this is an audio podcast. And I don't have good posters, so it looks like it's going to be a video, but it's really not. I'm not sure if this is going to come up on
Welcome to the XCast.
the recording
it's all about
system
the
that I'm using, but
with your host.
it's the audio, so we can kind of publish and control all that once we add in RSS and all that good stuff. So anyway, that's the basic app and how it works. So let's look at how you actually configure it. So if we log in, okay, logging in exposes this section down here. Okay, the first thing you might want to do is add a show. Okay, so I've got 2 shows in here, NotesIn9 XCast. We can do another one, and we can call it Test Show. And now it's available. Episodes the same way. You can do new. I don't really have one to add, so I'm going to click on one and kind of show it to you. And let's go into this second one here. So what you can do is you can select which show it belongs to. So if we do Test Show and submit it, then the 2 is gone. And if we come down to the end, probably Test Show is where it is. So it does update. Okay, so you need to have your show chosen, a title, the number for sort order, and then you can do your authors. Okay, so I'm doing right now authors and contributors, and that's done once you're logged in. On the contributor list, you have this new button. You can click on new and then add a new author. And yeah, this stuff shouldn't be here for a new one, and that's on my list to fix. So that's how you get your authors into it. So if we come back here to episodes and let's go back to that number 2 one because I didn't save that. I'll put that back since this is actually the live site. And authors. So then subtitle, you don't really need. Summary could be whatever your summary is, for kind of like almost your blog posting. And what's important is there's a lot of fields here. You don't need all the fields right now. I stole all these from the iTunes RSS podcast specification or so, and I'm not using them all yet, but I'm trying to get them in there. So again, you can just use the ones that are really important. And this is an important notice is right now I am not hosting the files inside this application. This application doesn't really support that currently, and I'm not sure if there's a need to do that because I don't think it's probably too smart to try and serve these files from inside Domino. If someone tells me Domino can handle it, that'll be something else, but I'm not sure it can, especially if it's a busy podcast. So all these are going to be links to an external resource. So here's where the link is for, I host my podcast through Libsyn, and that's what they give me. And here's the type. It's a video, MP4, etc. And then my date and minutes and seconds and stuff like that. This duration is going to go away because now I used to do this. Now I'm actually doing minutes and seconds. And tags. You need to improve, but you can just put commas in, whatever it is, and then that will eventually show up as a tag, for the by tag list. Okay, now one of the key features of this, which I've not turned on yet, though by the time you see this, maybe I will have played with it, is ad control, and this was a big deal for me when I wanted to do this. I wanted the ability to have what they call a pre-roll ad, so an ad that you can kind of like force on there, which is no one likes ads, but it's a very kind of accepted way of doing things on the internet, and at some point, I will solicit advertisement and just see if there's anything out there to defray some costs or whatever. In the meantime, I'm going to probably try and do a couple little fun ads here and there. But this is my ad control section. And forgetting about this first one for the moment, this featured video, is we can turn an ad on and say an ad's on. Now if we come back to home and play this, okay, see now there's this little ad that I did in Keynote, or a little test ad. Okay, and it's forced. So, I can't get past this. And this works on iOS devices, which is really kind of wicked cool. So I guess if you do want to advertise, let me know. But anyway, I'm going to do some other things with this as well, and we're going to advertise for some NotesIn9 and whatever. So anyway, if you want to have ads, forced pre-roll ads, this is how you can do it. And just, again, it's the same way you move to a link, or you put a link in here, and then the type, and then it should just work. And actually, I've not tried this for the audio one. So let's do this right now. Oops. And I bet it'll work. As I make you look at this dumb little ad again. And again, I'm not sure how the screencast is going to record all this, but this would be like a forced ad for an OpenNTF or the next lug, etc. And it should go right in the audio. And it does. Hey, look at that. Who knew? Kind of worked. Okay, so anyway, that's ad control. Now, ad was the first thing that I put in. Then I realized I need to have app control. So this featured video business, which is the feature, basically the video from the home page, is right now living on ad control, and that's going to get moved to app control as well. But to set the featured video, there's this view here called episodes, and you can just take the notes ID here, and you don't need the NT part. So just get the rest of it, and then you would just go into ad control, edit it, and update, paste in the featured video for whatever it is you want on the home page. So that's kind of pretty easy. I'm going to turn this off since that is the live side. Okay, now I've got this section here for the app control, and here's the title, which shows up here. So if we do beta and say submit, there it goes. Updates every page. You know, it's kind of nice. And then the welcome message is right here. Welcome to XPages TV, home of it, and that's gonna. I'm passing HTML through there, so that's what this section is right here. Now I don't have this here configurable yet. I'm waiting until I figure out how to make this a little prettier. Then I will. So basically, you can have whatever welcome message you have, and this is kind of hard coded for the time being at least. Okay, next is the feedback message. So this is my feedback system right here, where basically this is the configurable message that I have in there, and I'm just asking for name, email, and comment for any things. And then there's a view here for feedback, you know, for you to actually see what this is. Okay. And what else do we have here? So banner one. So I couldn't figure out a way in this app to make this kind of like unlimited numbers. I'd almost have to write my own server-side JavaScript or something, so or in a repeat, and I didn't know how to do this because this is server-side JavaScript feeding this, you know, not pre-rendered, you know, or post-rendered HTML. So I didn't know how to make this an unlimited number, but you can only fit so many in anyway. So right now, I just have the ability for 3 banners. So XPages info, XPages cheat sheet, NotesIn9 right now. Of course, if you change this or change the link, it updates right away. If you take one away, just the label, then it just won't show. So you don't have to use all 3. And what was that? XPages info. Probably shouldn't do this with a live site. And then the default video height and default video width right now is 640 by 360. You know, I'm a big fan of the full resolution of my shows, which is 1280 by 720, but it just doesn't fit that well in everybody's monitor. So I'm trying this smaller rendition.
Welcome to NotesIn9.
Knowing that you can, you know, maximize it, you know, and come back out of it, etc. So I'm playing around with this, and of course, if you get to a show from a different method, you know, there's even a little more room to play with. So we might change that. So my plan is on these pages is I might actually make this bigger. And the way I've set it in the back end is if there's certain view scope variables, it'll override what you've set in the app control and to be the size. So not every video is going to have to be this size. It's just going to be the default, and we'll be able to override it. But I don't want to talk too much about the back end stuff of it because I'm going to basically do a series of screencasts on how I built this whole darn thing. So I think that's pretty much it on just how to use it. You know, it's basically, you know, once you get going, you want to make your episodes and fill in the links of where they have it, where they live. This is important that this, you know, the actual HTML type, whether it's video MP4, MP3 or audio / MP3, I guess it is. A lot of my videos, unfortunately, are move files. So I'm actually in the process of converting everything over to MP4 and re-uploading to Libsyn because it's like video QuickTime. Because I don't think this is working on every browser, especially IE. So if you do have any IE problems, I think it might be because of my video types. I'm not 100% sure yet. So if you do have problems, just leave me feedback or so. But I am in the process of trying to convert everything, and with what is it, like 15 hours, there's a lot to convert, so it's a kind of an arduous process. So anyway, this is XPages Media Library, which is available on OpenNTF, and if you are interested in it, please download it and let me know how you like it. This is kind of hard coded in the dev contest thing. I'll be making this configurable as well at some point in the future. So if you have any suggestions or so, you can leave me feedback here or in OpenNTF, and I appreciate it. And that's the demo. If you have any questions for me, here's my contact information. Download it, play with it. Hope you like it, and I thank you for your time.